It's that stream. Bro, you got like 3.5 minutes, bro. I'm probably...
Were you ever watching a Wemmbu video or any other scripted video and thought, I wish I could make something like this, but you just couldn't? Maybe you don't have any ideas, or don't know how to set up a server, or just can't really edit. Well, I made this tutorial for that reason, and hopefully it will help some of you. Also, if you already know how to make scripted videos, I'd recommend you stick around anyway, just because you might learn something new anyway. So starting off, I've split this video into 5 parts, being planning, setup, production, post-production, and distribution. Also, throughout this tutorial, I'll be making a video from scratch, so it's easier to follow along. So if you'd like to see that, it's on my channel, and if you do end up finding this video helpful, please consider subscribing because I'm trying really hard to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so any support is appreciated. So, the setup. The first thing you need when making a scripted video is a rough idea, or what I like to call the concept. And I found the best way to get ideas is to take inspiration from other media you like. For example, in this video I made, the prison was inspired by the show The Platform on Netflix. Or this bar in the same video, which was inspired by the Afterlife bar from Cyberpunk, as I'd been playing it quite a lot around the time of writing the script. Also, it doesn't really matter how dumb the idea is, as long as it's interesting and hasn't been done before. For example, this video I made was entirely based off a game on Roblox called Death Penalty. I turned a Roblox game into a Minecraft video. Unstable does this too, the most recent being Attack on Titan.
Okay, just watch out. What is this?
For those of you like me that find coming up with ideas easier, you won't have to do this as much. After you have your concept, you will need to write a script. You don't really need to put a lot of detail into it because scripted SMPs tend to improvise quite a lot, and you can see this a lot in a lot of Wemmbu videos, mainly with the dialogue.
What did I tell you would happen? We acted against our better judgment. Now we're cooked. First off, Watto, we're cutting your wage.
The script is mainly for you to remember what you want to do in your own video because you'll probably explain everything to your actors on set anyway. Here's an example of a script I wrote. Pause the video if you want to read it. As you can see, it's very vague because a lot of the video was improvised. And here's another script that I wrote, and as you can see, this one is a lot more detailed than the other one. I just often prefer adding detail. It's up to you how much you add. For every actor, if you don't already have actors in mind, I recommend using random words as a placeholder for their names, until you find actors. Now, speaking of finding actors, this is the step a lot of people trip up on when making their scripted video. If you don't have loads of friends that play Minecraft, which let's be real is probably most of us, you won't really have a lot of people you can use for your videos. And honestly, all you gotta do is just use Discord. Make a Discord server for your SMP. Invite a few of your close friends and then drop the invite link in self-promo channels in other Discords, or make an applications are open type video on YouTube, and you'll see how quickly you'll gain members. For me, being in an unscripted SMP helped a lot because I'd constantly be in call with other members and play with them, so when I needed actors eventually, getting them was quite easy. If you still struggle to find actors after doing all that, honestly just make a video anyway. You'll be surprised by how little actors you actually need to make a scripted video. And as your video gains views, you'll inevitably get people who want to join anyway. Okay, you're almost done setting everything up. All you need now is a server and the builds. For a scripted SMP, I'd probably recommend using paper or fabric just because they're like the most common options. But this is really up to personal preference. If you have a bit of money to spare, I'd probably recommend buying scripted essentials. It's trusted by loads of YouTubers and it kind of gives you everything you need all in one plugin. However, if you'd rather set the mods or plugins up yourself, I'll put a bunch of them on screen now for both fabric and paper. If you want to find them, they'll all be on Modarinth, so you just gotta search for names up. Once you have the mods or plugins you need on your server, you're ready to start building. If you're still struggling to set your server up, there's loads of tutorials on YouTube, so just watch one of those. Or just ask around. You'll be surprised at how many people actually know how to do server stuff. Finally, the two mod set builders on Unstable use are Axiom and World Edit. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because this video would be like 2 hours long, but in short, World Edit is good for when you want to fill huge areas or make really complex shapes using maths. And Axiom is a much newer mod that merges Minecraft and Blender together and is the best for sculpting terrain and creating the majority of your builds. Often, bigger YouTubers like Wemmbu have loads of builders that create the builds they need for their videos, but even having surface level knowledge of either mod is better than nothing, and chances are most of you guys watching probably don't have builders. So I'd recommend watching these videos if you want to learn how to use the mods. They honestly helped me a lot. I'll also leave the links in the description. By this stage, you have everything you need to get started with recording, so let's jump right into that. Make sure your whitelist is off, and then get your actors to join. You can send them your script if you want, but I personally find that explaining it bit by bit on set is a lot easier. Before you can actually start recording though, you'll need to do 2 more things. Firstly, get OBS if you don't already have it. I'd recommend watching this video by this guy because he explains a lot, like what kind of mic you should get, the game settings, good editing softwares, and most importantly, how to use OBS. Then get the flashback mod. This is a mod that lets YouTubers create all the cinematic shots you see in their videos. I'll go into more depth towards the end of the tutorial, but all you need to do right now is just start your flashback recording and then stop it when you cut. Then act out your script. This is probably the easiest part to do, just because you literally just play Minecraft. Also, don't hesitate to redo scenes if they don't turn out well. The last thing I suggest is turning on the whitelist once all your actors are in, just so if they die and get kicked, they can't rejoin. Now for the editing, I'll be handing over to myself from the past. Alright, so this is a part where we start editing. Basically I'm just going to create a new project. So I've got all my clips. Alright, so I've been thinking for a bit and... Alright, I'm going to try to come up with some thumbnail, title ideas. Alright, that's one idea. Urging for civilization that doesn't exist. No, word for word is crazy. Alright, so we're not doing that. Maybe like the search for something. Be like the search. Wait, let me format it. Maybe something like that. The search for Minecraft forbidden totem. This weapon makes you completely useless. Maybe like a statement, you know. This item. Wait, yeah, let's try that. Hold on. This item. Hold on. This item destroys the world. Wait, that's not even. Hold on. This item. Okay, I'm gonna see if this is a title already, because okay, it doesn't seem like it's a video already, which is good. This item destroys the world. Honestly, I'm quite happy with that. Doesn't matter how safe you think you are or how far away from the rest of civilization. I don't know, bro. It's really hard. Alright, this is kind of my idea so far. So it'll be like, no matter how safe you think you are or how far away you travel from the rest of the server, this item can erase everyone and everything you know in just 1 second. And then it'll be like someone popping it and like everything just like getting erased. So that's kind of the introduction. So this is your entire video, right? This is your like footage. So this is like the main chunk of the video, right? So this is kind of like where you say, for example, with my video, it's like this item destroys the world. How you kind of explain how powerful the item is, like what it can do, all of that. So as soon as someone sees the title, and they click on the video, they're met with the intro that kind of expands on the title. But what you want to do is you want to link these up somehow, and that's usually the hardest part, because how do you transition from the intro to the footage? Because for example with my video, we don't know the item like does anything at the start, right? But in the intro I'm describing what it does. Okay, this is what I've done. So it does this whole bit, and then it says, but as of right now, me and my best friend had no idea any of this was even possible. And so we decided it was time to find out. And then it's going to go from the main intro chunk to like the transition, which is this part. So the bit we just did is right in the middle. So this part. And then it's going to go into footage. So yeah, that's kind of the intro done. I'm just going to save it. It's, you know, I don't know if this is it, because we need like a mountain. I think this is good. Yeah, this is like a mountain, kind of. So now what we're going to do is press start recording. And now I'm going to look at my notes, and it says me looking down the mountain, I'm gonna have a high run distance from Roxy, so... Alright, so when I start flashback, I'm gonna position myself like this, and then I'm gonna go in survival just in case, and then basically I'm gonna go like... Okay, I'm gonna look up, start up slowly, and then it's gonna... Okay, wait, no, I should do it from this side. There's a lot more going on this side. Alright. So I'm basically gonna go like this. Okay. Honestly, that's pretty good for that. Now I need like a house, kinda, so... Okay, and then I'm gonna start flashback recording. I'm in survival. And I'm just gonna walk around and place. So we'll go like... Okay, that should be good enough. Now we want to go into flashback. Alright, so the first shot is me placing flowers. What I'm going to do is do this. And then find a good kind of angle. So I'm kind of in this area, like right here. Placing flowers. So I'm going to do like... Okay, I kind of like this shot right here. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go like... Add element camera. Place the first keyframe. And I kind of want it to like zoom into this shot. So we're going to go a bit earlier and just kind of go like... Maybe this. Center it. Bang. That's way too slow, so we're gonna go. That's too fast. Okay, then slowly it's gonna zoom in. Like this. Okay. That is a decent shot right there. So we're gonna click export video. See how simple that was. Resolution 2560 by 1440. That is my monitor resolution. So, but yeah, just because we're gonna do this shot multiple times, I'm gonna click reset RNG. MP4. That use maximum bitrate. We don't need audio. I'm gonna click export. Flashback recordings. Save. And it's gonna start exporting it. So what we're going to do now is switch up a little bit. Maybe have like a close up. See how easy it is. So the first shot we took is this one. And then we took this one. We're going to zoom in. And then I'm going to go. No matter how... Okay. No matter how safe you think you are, or how far away... Okay, and then about here it's going to fade into the other shots, so far it's looking like this. No matter how safe you think you are, or how... Yeah. Honestly, I like that a lot. Yeah, I think the shot should be like... I should be in the top half, you know, to show more of a mountain and stuff. So we're going to do that. That's a pretty good shot. But yeah, so that's that. Okay. So then we're going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to go effects. Film dissolve. Back that onto there. You are, or how... We want to make it a bit longer. I'm going to use this plugin that I have called Epidemic Sound. Because most YouTubers that you watch, they basically pay every month and they get to use all the music from their catalog. So as a student, I get 50% off. So if you're also a student, I'd look into that. Okay, first thing I'm going to say is always lower audio. That might be too loud, like maybe 13. Okay, I kind of want it to end on that, so what I'm going to do is drag the ending here. Time to find out. Okay, I kind of like this one too, so I'm going to use both of these. This sound effect I think is cool. I'm gonna lower it and be like here. No matter how safe you think you are the rest of the server, this item can erase everyone and everything you know in just 1 second. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna take another little break and then I'm gonna come back and do more. Alright, so it is the next day. I have finished the intro. As you can see, kinda goes like this. Totem. Chunk gets deleted. This shot. This one, and then it fades out. So now I need to do this other bit, which is like, as of right now, me and my best friend had no idea that bit, so I'm gonna work on that. Okay, so I've kind of decided against recording the entire process just because the video would be like 2 hours long. So instead I'm gonna show little like chunks of progress. So for example, with this bit, there's nothing to do on this island. It starts off with me and Dancer, like, you know, going around, look off into the distance. There isn't a whole lot of cuts. You can see there's a few cuts here, and then here it goes. Dancer suggested that we go and talk to the king of our civilization, Yuhai. Basically, you can watch my video for the whole thing, but basically I kind of explained that we need to go to the king. And then it goes from this to us going up.
The rules of this island, I'll have to stop you.
Wait, what is... And you can hear like, there's a kind of a gap here where there's no audio, and that's kind of where this part starts playing.
I'll have to stop you.
Wait, what? And yeah, I kind of added a flashback shot here just because you couldn't really see it from here. So that's basically the whole thing. You just want to use music to your advantage because it makes all the difference in the end. Again, this music is really like, you know, like it kind of just tells you that something's wrong and that they need to like escape. It just adds a bunch of urgency. I had to somehow connect us leaving the island to us essentially traveling back to the thingy. I don't want to include all the footage of us actually traveling there, so I have this voiceover. Right here, and civilization kind of just plays here. I have a shot of us here, and then it kind of goes to the signs, slowly zooms in, and then it does like a quick zoom, and then it like pans around the island, and then it kind of pans around like the volcano, and then it shows the sign, and then as this totem comes on screen, it kind of blurs, and then it does that, and then it unblurs, goes to that, and then from this it kind of fades into us traveling. Then it goes to us at the village, because I think you'll find scripted content is a lot easier to do than unscripted. And then I've just had this cool cinematic shot of like all the players below us looking down at them. And then I think this shot was really interesting. I'm not gonna like fully explain how to do it, but basically I tracked the totem and I made it, I basically bumped up the saturation a lot, and then added Wonder Glow to it as well. You can see it without it looks like that, and with it like that. And then I've added a feather to make it look nicer, and obviously expansion. Do you not expect editing to be an easy process? Because it really isn't, but with every video you'll get better and more efficient. So yeah, hopefully this helped you guys. I think I'll move on to the other section now. Here are all the settings I used when I export. I've already made a tutorial on how to make thumbnails, so I'll leave that in the description along with everything else I've used. This is the description I use for each of my videos, and this is how it's broken down. At the top, I always have like a short Netflix style video description. I try and make it sound cool whilst at the same time not revealing what happens in the video. Then under that, I have the link to my Discord server. And under that, I have a small section where I thank everyone for helping me with the video and tag the actors' channels. Under that, I have my socials, and then I have this block of text that I copy and paste onto each video. I don't really know what it does, but I just kind of have it there. And then right at the bottom, I have my sub count and the time of posting the video. Please don't just copy this. If you look at every YouTuber's description, you'll notice that they're all quite different. Some are longer and some are very short of just their socials. But being creative and personalizing it is the best thing you can do, because having your own identity is very important. Last but not least, these are my tags, but depending on what content you post, these will be different. And once that's done, you can post your video. If you guys found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe and comment a rat emoji if you made it this far. I appreciate I didn't explain everything in that much detail, but I wanted to include as much as I could in this tutorial without making it really long and boring. So if you do want to learn more about something like OBS settings or flashback, there'll be loads of tutorials on YouTube to help you. And if you guys want to watch a video I made in this tutorial, I'll just leave it on screen now.